Good morning and happy Friday. It is January 2nd. And for those of you that haven't already heard from me, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. 2026 is kicking off right now with Big Agent Meeting. So thank you for being here for the Big Agent Meeting. I hope you had a good, productive New Year's and hope you had a great holiday season throughout the Christmas and all the rest of the holidays that go on this time of year. So congratulations, each one of you making it to 2026. I know in the middle of 2025, there's a bunch of us going like, I just want this year to be over. And now it's over. Get it behind us so we can launch 2026 and get going. So with that being said, we've got a great show lined up for you guys today. We have, of course, Ian Wheatley's going to be talking about KGCI Radio. Then Holly Mabery's going to be doing her brokerage brief, getting you guys up to speed on what you need to know kickoff 2026. And then, of course, we have a great interview with Leo Pareja and Chandra Vennapusa. This guy is a baller. You're going to want to check out this segment from Leo's podcast. We'll show you that in a little bit. All right. So with that said, let's kick off Attraction Advantage. I want to throw you guys a curveball because I was the beneficiary of a guy with Real Grader. His name's Alex Montalenti. And he actually hit me up in one of the shows and he's like, hey, Russ, can we get your stuff looking correct? I'm like, what do you mean? And he was talking about my Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and all of the rest of the things that go on in my YouTube banner, get all my banners correct. He's like, it's super, super important as a professional to present everything that looks similar and blends together. And I'm like, you're right, dude, man. Like I've been meaning to do that forever. And he's like, that's what we do. We do that for you. And by the way, here's a quick interview between him and I going over what he did for me. You guys want to check this out. So check it out. Alex, take it away. One of the things that I've got going rock and roll is I'm trying to be better at tech because it's not my wheelhouse, right? I'm a real estate guy. I'm a sales guy, but I'm not great at tech stuff. So I've got Alex Montalenti. This guy represents Real Grader. And this guy walks up and he's like, hey man, like I got a bunch of really cool stuff you can do. Do you have all your stuff in order? And I'm like, no, I don't. And yes, I would like to. So Alex, show us what you got, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. My name's Alex Montalenti, CEO of Real Grader. And as it turns out, about 2 years ago, we met Leo at Shareholder Summit, back when Shareholder Summit existed. And I'm like, Leo, we should build digital business cards and help your agents optimize online. So Leo's like, let's do it. Within 2 weeks, we built 80,000 digital business cards for EXP agents. Now it's like over 100,000 digital cards. And we launched it. And all the agents started downloading their digital card, started checking out their online presence, and we started fixing online presence for thousands of agents. So yeah, once I saw Russ, I'm like, hey, Russ, you're the VP of growth at EXP. Let's get you optimized.
What does your stuff look like? Bad.
Exactly. So let's check it out here. So now we've been through it. Every agent at EXP can go to instacardexp.com and actually go and see their digital card that we pre-built for them. It's not just a digital card. It's not a photo of your card. It's a complete digital experience. Digital card, website, email signature, Zoom virtual background, and tools to help you build your online presence. So every agent can go to instacardexp.com, click here, say claim their card, go find your card, literally search for your name, and you will find your digital card right here. As you can see, over 12,000 agents at EXP have already claimed their card. So now once we claim the card, you can go in and see your beautiful digital card like the one here we made for Russ. And he can go in and customize it. He can change the branding. He can change the links. He can change his bio. He can add video backgrounds. Like right now, we could literally turn on a video background in the back. Let's see, we could add like maybe a luxury living room. Let's apply that one just for a goof, and boom, now we got a video playing in the background of his digital card. We can add the review feature so he can get Google reviews. We can add menu features so now he can help for recruiting or join EXP. Settings, CRM integration. We got Bold Trail integration so all your leads can flow right into Bold Trail. And then besides that, it's a full-blown website. And besides a website, it is also email signatures ready to go, fully dynamic, customizable, as well as a Zoom virtual background. You can literally come in here, change the background image to, let's say, something more like, oceanfront as you wish. Boom, there you go. And we got a starter course so that if Russ really wanted to go in and figure out Facebook, Google, Instagram, we're going to teach you all the things to do on all these different platforms. So that's that half of that, like the first section of that is complimentary to every agent. Of course, you can upgrade to pro to get video and all kinds of stuff, but email signatures complimentary, digital card complimentary, all of that's complimentary. And then what happens is we said, hey, Russ, we checked out your online presence, and I forgot, what was your score, Russ? Do you remember? Was it like 1 out of 100?
A 2.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of agents, when we ask you, how are you doing online, 1 through 100, a lot of agents say, hey, I'm failing or I'm invisible online. So we actually went in and optimized all of Russ's platforms, his Google, his Facebook, his Instagram, his LinkedIn, his Zillow, his Realtor, his YouTube, and we got him up to a 95 score, right? So totally revamped his digital presence. We revamped his digital branding. So now if you check him out on LinkedIn, he looks like a professional. He's got his book. He's got his podcast. He's got everything ready to go. And he's looking like a pro. What do you think of the branding here, Russ?
Dude, it was one of those things that's like, I know I need to do it. I got to get it done. And then you guys made it so easy. I mean, literally, it was a matter of getting you guys a picture, a couple of, the book picture, right? And then just login and password. Like login and password to realtor.com and login password to Google and all that stuff. Boom. And you guys handled everything. I was the thing slowing it down. You guys would have had it done in 15 seconds if I didn't make it so slow. But yeah, it was a thing that I needed to do. I just didn't make the time to make it happen. And you guys were able to make something happen for me. And I love that.
Yeah,
thank you.
Beautiful. And yeah, because you're a busy guy, we had to log in and stuff like that. But sometimes we can just get admin access and do those profiles right there. So besides that, if you check him out now, go check out Russ on Facebook, follow him, like him. He's got his beautiful branding. We customized all his data points. If you check him out on LinkedIn, he looks consistent. He's got the beautiful LinkedIn banner. Most people don't even have a banner up here. You check him out on Google. Now he's got a Google business page. Now he can start getting reviews on Google. He's got a YouTube channel. He always had a YouTube channel. I mean, you're actually pretty active on video. You got 879 subscribers, 156 videos, but now you got nice, consistent branding going across the board. And we went into your Instagram and your realtor.com and your Zillow and your homes.com and made you look legit across the board. So yeah, I mean, what message do you have to brand new agents who are trying to go out there and get listings? What message do you have to experienced agents who are currently going out there with a less than average online presence? And I'd love to hear your feedback on that.
It's the thing is everybody's looking people, man, you know what? I started doing this now. When I'm going to be talking to somebody, I'm like, let me see who this person is I'm going to be talking to. Like I never would ever Google people. I just wing it when I go into a conversation with someone. But now it's like, now I want to find out who I'm talking to now and get a little more intel on this. And it's incredible. Sometimes people are like, everything you see, it just looks pro and it looks right. And then you get people like me. I had, one photo here and one photo there. Oh, updated photos, but a little bit of everything in a hodgepodge. Like from a professional standpoint, I did not think I looked professional. And that's like, what do you think my clients are thinking? What do you think people are like? Somebody's looking at me and the way they go, like, this guy's a great example. He's a senior executive and he can't even get his pictures matching. Do it. Just do it. Hit the easy button and do it. Let them do it.
Yep. And the last piece that we haven't done for you yet, but now you're set up for success, Russ, is we now have the ability for you to go into the platform. And instead of logging, I know you post a lot, right? Instead of logging into Facebook and creating a post and logging into LinkedIn and then logging into YouTube and all these different platforms, you can come right into the platform, post in one place, have the AI write some content if you want to, and then integrate with Canva, pull the imagery right out of Canva because every EXP agent has a Canva account now. And boom, you can post it out on all your platforms and check all your messages in one central dashboard. We call that influencer, and that's really taking off for a lot of EXP agents as well. So thanks for being part of the process, Russ. We're happy that we can finally get you fully dialed in. And yeah, for agents that are out there, I mean, check us out. Go to instacartexp.com, get your free digital card. Go to realgrader.com, request an audit with our team. We'll go through your digital presence, check you out online, see how we can help you, whether it's fix your presence, do it with you, or do it for you, or help you with your social media management.
Love it, man. You could not have made it any more easy to do. And your staff person that worked with me, she was the most patient human in the world, which I love. She was very forgiving of my lack of understanding of what she was doing. So thank you for that. Appreciate it a bunch.
I appreciate it. I'll pass on the message. Thank you.
All right, so there you go, guys. Like, I know it needed to be done. You know it needed to be done. I wasn't getting it done correctly. I had a couple of them, but I didn't have them all lined up like I'm supposed to. So now all of my stuff, when you pop out and Google Russ Laggan, doesn't matter what you pop up on, there's a consistency of my brand. Branding is super, super important, guys. I'm actually starting to Google people before I meet with them or interview them or communicate with them or do business with them. I'm starting to Google people now. I've never done that in the past. So if I'm starting to do it, that means a bunch of other people are doing it. And I'm shocked how many people hit me up and they're like, I Googled you before this conversation. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Right? There's any number of things that they can find out about you, but consistency is key. So that'll help you with Real Grader. So make sure you check that out, guys. It's free. The first part of it's free to EXP agents. So lean into that. All right. Next up, we have Ian Wheatley. Take it away, Ian Wheatley, KGCI Radio. Go.
Thanks, Russ. Happy New Year. And if you haven't yet stopped working in the chaos of your real estate business to start working on your systems, let's have KGCI Real Estate on Air be your daily fuel. We've gone all gas, no break on creating the media network that respects your time. Our vision was to create a daily data-driven and fully automated platform. And what does that mean for you? It means we have zero filler and we have max leverage, right? What you need is consistency to build a habit. And our daily programming brings you the top insights of the top producing agents of 2026, not 2006, and delivers you what you need to know to be successful right now and with every single market shift. And to support the core parts of your business, we have our Mindset and Motivation Monday for the real estate between your ears, our Wealth Wednesday for your bank account, and the Friday Focus for your lead flow. It is a new year. Resolve to make KGCI Real Estate on Air your daily habit. We're free, we're always accessible, and we're built just for you. Download the always free Real Estate on Air mobile app for iPhone and Android now, and let's make 2026 the year your system.
All right, Ian, thank you very much. KGCI Radio, always bringing the good stuff for you guys. Next up, we have Holly Mabery with Brokerage Brief. Holly Mabery, take it away.
2025 was absolutely the year of AI. We saw just it was everywhere. And what was so important about AI is how we adapt and know what we're doing for our clients when. So many times you and I work really diligently on behalf of our clients, but we always don't necessarily share our story. So what we've done here recently is we wanted to give you an update, and our policies and procedures back in September, they were updated. We wanted to give you some best practices around the leverage and use of AI, as well as guideposts, things to do this, not that. And so if you look at the policies and procedures, I've got that QR code for you right here. We wanted to make sure that you were prepared, particularly as everybody embarks on this brave new world that we're enjoying together. Now, one of the biggest things that we wanted to be aware of was how we disclose and when. And this is what's so important. If you've got a website that you're leveraging and maybe you're using a chatbot, many of you have these great, robust websites. We're seeing departments of real estate or the real estate commission come in and say, hey, you've got to disclose in advance that you've got a chatbot or AI actually assisting that client. They don't think it's you. Now, this is what I liken it to. A lot of us, we know when we're chatting with AI. It's pretty obvious. But I think it's very similar to why there's directions on a shampoo bottle. They're there for a reason because somebody had to be reminded to wet their hair. AI is everywhere. We can't take it for granted. So for you and I to disclose up front what people are interacting with and don't think it's a human or a licensed human interacting on the other side is absolutely critical. Now, we did do updates to the listing agreement. We did this back in November for you. And I wanted to make sure that you really understand this is the EXP listing agreement. Nobody else out there, no other state has gone to this level. And we want to always be tip of the spear and proactive on your account. So in this, we are basically disclosing, hey, seller, we may use AI in the marketing of your property. Now, what's so important about this language that we've leveraged is really about virtually staged photos, drafting property descriptions, or basically other marketing related activities. what you need to know here in the conversation. And this is what I love, the way that our forum flows. It's a very natural conversation that you're going to be having with the seller. Hey, I'm going to list your property. What price do you want? How long will our agreement be? A starting and an end date? Am I allowed to work with buyers? This is what I charged. All of those types of things. This is just another key piece. What I love about this also is it allows us to focus solely on what we can control. And when you look at it, the reason I bring this out is I want you to be very proactive in what this means. And I took this directly from a listing of one of our agents here in Sedona. He labeled dining and living room virtually staged. Now, what's important about this is going forward, many MLSs and actually the state of California will be requiring that we disclose this up front. The state required it starting yesterday, January 1st. So look at your photos. If you've been using Box Brownie or another virtual staging company, please, even the simple things like putting fire in the fireplace, you need to disclose that. And best practice would be putting the staged photo right next to the unstaged photo. It makes a huge, huge difference. And definitely the original versus the virtually staged, that way people get a flow of what the house is. I actually went and was looking at a property and they had the staged photo way in advance of the unstaged photo. So it was really confusing if you were looking at it online. And we know the first 5 pictures are what grabs somebody to actually walk through the property. It's that curb appeal, which is basically that virtual appeal. So if all of your staged photos are in the first 5, you may be misleading the public. So I want you to be super, super careful there. Now, the employment agreement or the listing agreement, if you will, I really want you to consider using it. Yes, every state has their own, but there's 2 key things that we've done in this, both the AI disclosure as well as the outgoing referral disclosure. And as a result, because most states haven't caught up with us, I really want you to consider how to use this and get to it through SkySlope in your as you go forward. So just a couple of things. Always disclose, always make sure it's in writing. And then if you are manipulating photos, having them virtually staged, put both photos in there. Makes a huge difference. Thanks, guys. Happy New Year. I cannot wait to see what you do and toast your success in 2026.
All right, Holly, first Friday of the year. You knock it out of the park as usual. Thank you very much for everything you do for us and contributing. Looking forward to working side by side with you through 2026. All right, next up, we have the one and only CEO, Leo Pareja, on his podcast with Chandra Vennapusa. This guy is a baller. Chandra breaks down how he closed 60 transactions in his first year while balancing a global corporate career, a young family, and even scaling to over 100 deals a year. This guy is pure efficiency and just word of mouth business. Check it out. This is a great interview you're going to want to see.
Chandra, welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you spending some time with me. The goal of this is to unpack for folks the journey. A lot of people will see some of the titles you've acquired, the transaction numbers you do in a single year, and it feels out of reach. And so what I like to spend time doing is starting in the beginning and then kind of honing in on the behaviors or activities that took you to where you're at. So why don't you just start us from the beginning, because real estate was not your first career, and how did you end up in real estate?
Absolutely, Leo. Thank you so much for having me in this podcast. And I'm very excited to be part of this and more than happy to share my journey. I did my master's from Texas A&M College Station. That's how my journey in US started. I came from India and then did my master's. And I worked in tech industry for almost 20 years. I was with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. I worked for Amazon, Expedia, Deloitte. I worked in tech industry for most of the time. And my journey started when I first bought my first home. That was in Washington in 2015. And I worked with another realtor. And once I bought my home, I felt so happy about it. I was so thrilled, and the happiness, it's immeasurable, right? So I felt, why not me, right? So I wanted to see the happiness from the other side and serve my clients and build their dreams. So it felt very exciting for me. That's how my journey started. and I got my license in Washington first. And then I was working with Amazon as well as, doing real estate for almost 4 years. And then I decided to become a full-time realtor in 2021. And I also got my Texas license at that time, and I'm serving both Washington and Texas since then.
How was that first year? Because, you put up numbers that most people hope to do in a 10-year career, and you do that in a single year. So what was the first process? How did you decide what niche to go after? And I'm fascinated by even the unit count you do of buyers, right? So when I see solo agents where your type of production, it's normally listing focused, just because it takes less time per transaction, but you still manage to help lots and lots of buyers in a year. So I'd love to know the first steps. What did you uncover? Is there a superpower of focus of yours?
Yeah, in the first year, Leo, I did 60 transactions.
60.
60, yeah.
Okay. That's unheard of, right? Like a great first year. We have a metric. If you do over 12 transactions in your first year, that makes you a superstar. And it's normally a slow climb. So it's like you do 3 transactions in the first 6 months and do 9 in the back half. But 60 is kind of unheard of. What were like month 1 versus 2 versus 3? How did you get to 60?
Yeah. So first month, I think I did 7 transactions.
First month
I did 7 transactions. And so I was working for Amazon, and I was in a global team in Amazon. So I had teams in Europe and Asia and, everywhere all around the world. So my job was very demanding, and a lot of calls start from 5:30 a.m. and I work until 12 because I was doing real estate as well. So it was, jam-packed throughout the day, and I was working 7 days a week.
So you hadn't quit your full-time job yet?
I quit in 2021, but in the first year, I was still with Amazon. I did real estate and Amazon for 4 years before I got into full-time real estate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the first year, I had to prioritize a lot of stuff, Leo, because my time was very limited because I was doing, Amazon as well. So what happened was that I tried to optimize my time. For example, I used to focus on a lot of new construction initially, because with new construction, the leverage I had was I can schedule like a 2-hour window and ask all of my clients to come at the same time and meet them at the new construction. And my clients didn't mind. Again, it's all about setting expectations. I set them expectations that there will be a lot of other clients that are coming along with you, but you learn a lot of things because you're all first-time home buyers and you learn what questions they're asking, and there's a lot of information. I know a lot of people think that it's not a good idea to have a lot of clients at one time, but it worked out beautifully for me.
Got it. And did you focus on a specific community at a time? Did you say, I'm going to become the new construction expert? What was the thought process there?
So what I used to do was I used to keep tab on what are the new constructions that are coming up, and they generally have a grand opening. So that specific weekend, I make sure that I collect all the details from the builder's agent in advance about the pricing, the community maps and incentives and everything else. And I do a lot of due diligence, and I put together a framework for the new buyers. I tell them, hey, these are all the things that are coming with the community, and I share all that information upfront with all of the potential buyers, right? And I pick a 2-hour time window, and I tell everybody, hey, this is the time window where we'll be there, try to make it on time. And I'll tell them what to expect. And I tell them that, hey, there'll be a lot of good questions from other people. So you will get an opportunity to learn a lot more about the home buying process. So, and then I'll meet with multiple clients at the same time at the construction site.
From there, were you able to generate specific marketing? Were you intentional with the asks of the folks? Be like, hey, the level of service you received, the level of negotiation you received, do you know anybody else who needs that type of representation? How did you think through that? Was there a proactive ask? Because I think most agents miss that part of the conversation, right? Ask and you shall receive tends to be a real sentence in life.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing I always tell Leo is, I think my biggest strength is customer obsession. So I always tell people, hey, when you come to me, there are 3 things that I will always do with you. One is customer first. Always I prioritize you over me. It doesn't matter what the situation is, what the ask is, whatever happens. I always like to put myself in your shoes, and I always will represent you, making sure that you are prioritized. The second thing I always tell them is customer communication. Hey, I'll always make sure to communicate with you appropriately to make sure you are always in loop with what is happening. Whether it is the negotiation process or the lender process, I'll keep you in the loop. That communication is very critical. This specific aspect, Leo, what happens is that a lot of agents miss out on this. For example, if they might be negotiating for 2 weeks or 3 weeks with the builder, or even in a resale home, they'll be working with the seller, but they don't communicate what is happening through the process. So what happens is that even if you give the best deal to the client, they wouldn't know what is the kind of effort you have put in, right? So I always make sure that I communicate and make sure that what are all the strategies that I'm using to bring them the best price. I've had situations where I negotiate so much, but still I may not negotiate enough for the customers, but still the customers are very happy that I use so many strategies to make sure I get the best deal. The third thing I always tell people is that customer relationship is very important. And I always treat you like a family. If I'm, helping my brother or sister or my mom or dad or my aunt or uncle, that's how I look at you. And I always make sure that, I serve you as if I'm serving a family. So these things I always communicate to them upfront. Of course, I will also talk about negotiation, which is one of my biggest strengths. I tell them that I'll try to save every penny possible for you. Even if you say I'm good, what you got is good for me. If I find an opportunity for me to negotiate, I'll always tell you that I'll negotiate more.
Can you share some of those strategies? Because I think anyone listening to this who's done only a little bit of new construction may have an aha, right? Because I think most agents don't think there's much room to negotiate, especially with new construction.
Yeah. So, Leo, that's one area you hit on the nail, right? So always the builder's agent will tell you, hey, there is not much room for negotiation, right? And realtors always should take it with a pinch of salt. So what I always try to do is that I do a lot of due diligence and data analysis before I start the negotiation process. For example, I'll ask the builder's agent to share with me their current inventory list. And I'll also look at the property that my client is interested. Is it completed or is it in progress? Where is in the construction process, right? And I also do some due diligence on that builder. Where are they with their sales numbers? Like, are they reaching the targets? Are they not reaching the targets? Are they on track with the targets? I can get some basic information on that.
Where would you go to find that? Because I love data too, but I'm learning right now. This is interesting.
Yeah. So obviously, in terms of the company stats, right? So when I go into Google and search, I can see, how the trends are with their specific builder. Of course, I have some relationship with some of these builder agents, and I ask them, some questions. Hey, how is it going with this community? Are you guys on track? And also I have some relationships with my sales managers, who are overseeing the area. So I reach out to them as well, and I collect some data. Since I'm working with that builder, regularly, I get a lot of information around that. And also, of course, in internet, these days you find all kinds of information, right? So I do the due diligence. So where all of this land is that, let's say if I get the price sheet from them, there are a lot of completed homes that are unsold, that tells me that there is a lot of scope for negotiation, right? And also when they're not meeting their sales numbers, that tells me that, hey, there is a lot of scope for negotiation. Right? If the house is completed on the market, obviously the builder wants to get rid of that specific house, right? Compared to a home that is in progress in terms of construction. So all these data parameters gives me some perspective on what kind of negotiation scope I have. So and so based on that, I'll communicate to my buyer, hey, this is where we need to start because I see significant scope. And when I build the offer, I always try to do multiple things from a new construction perspective. For example, it's not just the price reduction. A lot of builders will be willing to negotiate on the credits. They will be willing to give a lot more updates because they don't want to show that the price has decreased because it impacts the entire community. So my strategy will be always, threefold. I always like to prioritize whatever updates that the buyer wants. We do all the due diligence and identify what are all the updates the buyer would like to get, and we include all of those updates in the offer. And also we do analysis on how much credit they want to get, just so that they can, buy discount points or, decrease their principal. All of that, we do all that analysis. So all this analysis is done upfront before we place the offer.
All right, guys, there's a clip from the from the full podcast. If you guys want to check out the full podcast, make sure you jump into eXp Realty and just type in Leo Pareja for his podcast, and you'll see the version with Chandra. Make sure you check the rest of that thing out. Man, that is an amazing story, and he's just a great dude. If you ever meet him, he's just a super great dude. So check that out in its fullness. All right, next up we have Alyssa Specht with University Spotlight. What's going on, University? Kicking off the year big. Alyssa, take it away. What are we doing?
What's up, big agent meeting? Alyssa Specht here, back once again with another eXp University Spotlight. I am here to tell you everything that's coming up with the university next week. And my friends, it's going to be fire because we're dialing in on mindset and strategies and real systems that move the needle. So let me give you the rundown of what you can expect next week, starting with Monday on Level Up. So on Level Up, we are joined by Tony Caliendo. Now, he is the founder of Rethink Coaching, and he is going to break down his high-performance NLP framework to help you remove those mental roadblocks, to help you simplify your approach, and to help you turn everyday conversations into high-conversion opportunities. So again, that's Monday on Level Up. Now let's take a look over to Thursday. We're back with another amazing executive masterclass. This time we're joined by Chief Learning Officer, Mr. Brian Ellington, and he's going to be talking about building the 2026 that you want. You'll learn how to add, edit, delete. He's going to give you a framework for that, how to use lead versus leg measures, and a 168-hour method to design a profitable business that supports your life. You do not want to miss that. That's Thursday on Executive Masterclass. Then let's take a look over to Friday. We're back with another big agent meeting. You already know the drill. You bring the coffee. We're going to bring the value. And the value this time is coming from Anthony Esposito. Now, he joined Brian Ellington to share how he went from construction to real estate powerhouse using AI-driven SEO and evergreen YouTube content. My friends, you do not want to miss the strategies, the tactics that Anthony is going to drop there on the big agent meeting. But my friends, let's keep on looking at Friday because we're not done yet. We're back in the lab. This time, joining us in the lab is Justin Core. He's going to talk about how his team closes over 200 transactions a year by focusing on accountability, metrics, and a disciplined follow-up engine. So that is on the lab on Friday. Guys, tag your team, add these to your calendar, and I'll see you there.
All right, so there you go. Now you know, University always having a bunch of great stuff lined up for you guys across the board. 2026 is going to be an interesting and amazing year. University is going to be taking some stuff to the next level, so stay tuned and watch what they do this year to next. All right, so there you go. That is our show for January 2nd. Good news is 8 days from my birthday. Woo! Let's go. If you're thinking about sending me gifts, you got 8 days to get it rock and rolling. I kick off 2026 by getting older. Yeehaw! Anyway. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I hope 2026 is the best year you've ever had. Jump on, hit that QR code, give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Let us know how we did this year, did for this show. And we're going to keep trying to take this show to the next level throughout 2026. I wish and hope you all a happy new year, and I'll see you guys next week.